Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm Dr. Paramjeet and you're watching Dr. Education. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I make videos about health and healthcare topics, and all the information given here are directly referenced from the internationally accepted US National Medical Library, so you can trust the information. So today I'm going to talk about how to take care of your hairs, especially for teenagers. So this video is for teenagers and for their education. We have other hair videos also, you can watch them as well, but today we are going to talk from a perspective of a teenager. So let's start.
If you want to know about health and have health concerns, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified about all upcoming videos.
We have about 100,000 hairs on our heads. Yes, we have about 100,000 hairs on our heads, and each hair has a shaft like a tree, and it has layers with a cuticle. The outer layer is called the cuticle. Each hair has a shaft and 3 layers with the cuticle. Cuticle is the outermost layer which protects the inner 2 layers. Now, shiny hairs is basically a sign of health, because the layer of cuticle, they lie flat on each other, reflecting the light. And when this happens, when the cuticle lie flat over each other tightly, the inner layers are protected from heat, sun, chlorine, and all the other hazards that can come from living in our environment. So when the hair is damaged, the scales may get separated and the hairs can become dry. Because the scales on the dry hair don't protect the inner 2 layers very well, therefore the hairs can break and look dull. The type of hair you have, whether it is straight or curly, can also affect how shiny they are. There is something called sebum. Sebum, which is actually the natural oil on the hairs, it covers the straight hair better than the curly hair, which is why straight hair can appear shinier. Depending upon how long your hairs are or how fast they grow, the ends of your hairs can be a couple of years old. They can have that kind of age. So the hairs at the end, the hair tips, could have survived a few summers of scorching sun, salt water, winds of cold, dry air. So they can have damage, they can get thin, they can have what you called as 2 heads. They can get damaged, they can get thin. That's why hairs tend to be damaged more from the tips. But how well you care for your hairs from the time it emerges from the root plays a role in how healthy they will look. So how will you take care of your hairs? Taking care of your hairs depends upon the type of hairs, your lifestyle, as well as how you style your hairs. Now, first, your hair type. People with dry, curly hairs have different hair care needs than people with straight and fine hairs. But all hairs need to be treated gently, especially when they are wet. Wet hairs can stretch, so they make it more vulnerable to breakage or cuticle damage. That's why using a hot blow dryer or a heat styling product on a wet hair can damage it. So don't do that. Avoid doing that. Long high heat causes bubbles to form in the hair shaft, which causes them to break easily. Now, some people find that their hairs get oily in their teen years. That is because the hair follicles contain sebaceous glands that makes the sebum. Sebum is the natural oil which moisturizes the hairs and the skin. So during adolescence, the sebaceous gland may become overactive due to the hormonal changes during puberty, and therefore they produce more oils than needed. That's why you get acne. That's why you get oily hair, which is basically temporary and a part of puberty. Many teens care for oily hairs. Now, many of you might be taking care of your oily hairs by washing it once a day or more if they are active. But as long as you treat your hair gently when they are wet, the frequent washing wouldn't harm it. But if you have acne, it's a good idea to keep the hair around your face clean so that hair oils don't clog your pores. And if you're washing your hairs every day or more, it may be better to choose a mild shampoo instead of a shampoo designed for oily hairs. For some people, especially people with fine, fragile or combination of hair or combined hair, that means hair that's oily at the crown and dry at the ends, they are combination hair. So there, in that case, shampoos for oily hairs can be too harsh. Also, if you have oily hairs and want to use a conditioner, choose the one which is made for oily hairs. Coming on to dry hairs. If your hair is dry, it's a good idea to wash it less frequently. Some people only need to wash their hairs once a week, and that's fine. Many people who have curly hairs also have dry hairs. So curly and dry hair type are usually more fragile than straight hair. So you'll need to be especially careful about using heat styling products. Shampoos made for dry hairs and hair conditions are different and they can help. So that's all about how you can wash and dry your hairs. Now, your activity level and your interest, your lifestyle also play a role. So do you play a sport? Do you spend a lot of time on the beach? These kind of things can actually affect your hairs. For example, if you're an athlete and you have oily hair, you may want to wash your hairs after working out because of the sweat. Sweat can increase your problems. But if you are a lifeguard or a swimmer, sun and salt water or the chlorine in the pool water, swimming pool water, can actually dry your hair out. So no matter what your hair type is, if you are exposed to sun, wind or other elements, you may want to use a shampoo designed for dry. You need to use a shampoo designed for dry hairs and use a conditioner. It's also a good idea to wear a hat and protect your hairs when you're outdoors. Then coming on to hairstyles. Heat styling products like curling irons, straightening irons can dry out even oily hairs if they are used too much. So follow the instructions carefully. Don't use them on wet hairs or on high settings. Give your hairs a vacation from styling once in a while. Ask your hairstylist, your dermatologist, your doctor for advice on how to use hairstyling for your particular hair condition, your type, situation. Chemical treatments. Then if you are using chemical treatments, they can also harm hairs if they are not used properly or if you don't have proper knowledge. If you decide you want a chemical treatment to color, straighten or curl your hairs, it's best to trust the job to a professional. Stylists who are trained in applying chemicals to hairs will be able to evaluate your hair type and decide which chemical will work best for you. But here's some tips. Let me give you some information and awareness on chemical treatments as well. First, we'll talk about relaxers, which are straighteners, hair straighteners. The relaxers or straighteners basically work by breaking the chemical bond in curly hairs. Relaxers containing lye, L-Y-E, lye can cause skin irritation and hair breakage. Although no lye relaxers may cause less irritation, but both type of these relaxers can cause problems if they are used in the wrong way. For example, if they are mixed incorrectly or left on the hairs for too long. Scratching, brushing or combing the hair right before a chemical relaxing treatment can increase the risk. And do not use any relaxers or any hair treatment if your scalp is irritated, if you have itching. So if you have already done that, if you've straightened your hair and you want to keep them straightened, then you must wait for at least 6 weeks before you do it again. That gives your hairs a chance to grow enough so that you can straighten the next new growth without touching the hairs that already been straightened. Putting more chemicals on the hairs that already been straightened can really damage your hair. Really. Relaxers can cause hair breakage. Don't forget that. Relaxers can cause hair breakage when used over a period of time, even when they are used properly. Using blow dryers, curling or straightening irons or colors on chemically relaxed hairs can actually increase the risk of damage many folds. So that's about relaxers. Then let's talk about PERMS. PERMS take straight hairs and make it curly. The risks are similar to those associated with relaxers. Colors. There are 2 types of colors. Permanent, which means that the color stays in your hair until it grows out, and semi-permanent, which basically washes out after a while. Some semi-permanent color treatments like henna, mehendi are fairly safe and are very easy to use at home. But still, some people may get a condition called dermatitis, an allergic reaction or a rash from henna or other natural products. So be sure to test them on a small area first. Then other coloring treatments, especially like permanent treatment, can actually cause hair loss. They can cause burning, redness, irritation. A few types of coloring treatments can actually cause allergic reaction in certain people, and in rare cases they can be very serious also. So talk to a stylist about all these concerns if you're worried about being sensitive to these products. Also talk to your stylist about doing a patch test before using the product, and never use a hair dye on your eyelash or eyebrow. Don't do that. Regular hair cuts are one of the best ways to keep hair healthy. Even if you have long hairs or you're trying to grow your hairs, a haircut can actually help protect the ends of your hairs from splitting and damage. In fact, cutting may actually help your hairs grow better because it's healthy and it's not breaking off. So that's all about how to take care of hairs in teenagers. So I hope this information helped you out. Don't forget to share this information forwards, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Till next time, I'm Dr. Paramjeet. I'm a consultant physician, cardiologist in Yashoda Superspeciality Hospital, Nehru, Nagar, Delhi NCR, and you're watching Dr. Education. That's my channel. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Stay connected, stay healthy.